Hello and welcome to North Lanarkshire Live's first ever episode. I'm Martin, I'm your host today, and I am joined by Hugh Gaffney MP, and we're going to have a couple of questions, so welcome to the show, Hugh.
Thanks very much, Martin. I'm actually delighted to be your first guest on North Lanarkshire Live, and I wish you all the success of the day.
Well, first question off, it's a question that has to be asked, and it's one of the ones that's turned up a lot in the comment section, is you were elected as a council for Thornywood in View Park on the 8th of May.
4th of May.
4th of May. And then you were elected as the MP for Coatbridge and Chryston Bellshll on the 8th of June.
Yeah.
Now, essentially, you are at the moment a councillor and an MP.
Yes, I am.
How can you possibly do both those jobs?
I do both those jobs with pride. I'm so glad. You know, the council job is the first job I stood for. I stood as a councillor 2 years ago, or about a year and a half ago. I lost the by-election and I became a councillor on the 4th of May, and I was so delighted. Now, I didn't ask for these two jobs. It was a snap election called, and when the snap election was called, people asked me to stand for MP, and I was so delighted to stand for MP as well. And the lucky bit I've got is Thornywood ward is within my constituency of Coatbridge, Chryston and Bellshll, and I'm so delighted to do both jobs. And it doesn't matter whether I'm in Westminster or up the Civic, I still do both jobs. Also, just for your viewers outside, that I don't take any pay for council wages. My council wages go direct to charity, and it helps out the children for play parks, for disabled children, and in the future I hope that every swing park that is made now includes disability for children.
But obviously,
children's disability.
Obviously, the job of a councillor is the job of an MP. You can't be in two places at once, though.
No, that's true. But
so how do you prioritise between there's a vote in Westminster and there's a vote in North Lanarkshire?
It's a great question, because people ask me this. Now, in Westminster it's very tight, you know, and my job is to bring down the Tory government, you know, and there'll be votes as votes are casted. But it also happens up in the council as well. Well, now I congratulate Marie Quigley, who just became a new Labour councillor, because that now gives us 33, and if I'm needed in either council or Westminster, I will be in the place at the right time the vote is needed, and I will be there as a standing councillor.
But where would the priority be?
A good question.
Because if there's a vote on abolishing Trident, and there's a vote on bin collections,
it's a question. Where would you rather be? Would you talk about the Trident or the bin collection? I would go for the Trident. It would depend on the vote. Now I would speak to my whips and say, can I get to North Lanarkshire Council, or am I needed in Westminster? Westminster covers the full constituency, and it really depends on the issue. You know, where does my vote count? I'm a lucky person to be in that position.
Right, so how do you not do council surgeries anymore?
Oh, I do council surgeries. At first Friday every month, you'll get me doing council surgeries.
So do they differ from
Westminster runs from Monday to Thursday, and every Friday morning, you'll get me up in the Civic Centre to start off with, and then I will do my council duties. My council duties is when I go to the shops, I get stopped. My wife hasn't a wee bit upset, because when I go to the shop for a pint of milk, it might take half an hour, because I never walk past empty. I'm always late for events because I always talk to the people first.
But you can understand why people would think that you can't be down Monday to Thursday in Westminster.
Yeah. Well, you can, because the world's changing. You know yourself, this is social media. Yeah. Your video live's now on Facebook, you know. I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got all the social media accounts. Plus, people know me, people know my number. I'm always available for people, 24/7, whether I'm in the Civic Centre, whether I'm at Westminster. I will always, as I have been doing, I do a lot of council work, and it's to help people out.
Okay, so one of the things, there was a by-election, as you were saying then. Do we need by-elections for council? Because it's proportional representation. So surely they're, with the likes of the Tory councillor that decided not to take up his position.
Yeah,
it should have probably just went to the next person on the list.
Well, that's a problem, because I would like to charge the Tories for that election because the amount of money on the council. But people put their name in to stand as councillors, and some people know they won't get elected. That person was elected. Thankfully, he stood down, gave us an opportunity, and it is right to go back. because politics is a long time and things do change.
Yeah, but
And
my point
Marie
would
Quigley
be,
won that.
my point would be on that is it's proportional representation, right? So people choose their votes and they vote, it's a vote to vote, so you go 1 down to 7.
Yeah.
Now, if the person that got elected third on the choice
Yeah.
died the day before the election, they
Yeah.
would disregard the votes more than likely and add them to the
No.
next person down the list. Or would they have it?
Yeah, unfortunately, legislation says no, you've got to call it an armed violence.
So is that something you would look at changing?
Well, I would look into that. If people come to me and ask me the question, what would you do, and enough people ask for it, certainly I would look at it, and that might be, Martin, a good question to ask the council, because I think that's a great question to ask, because if somebody came within a time period second, surely they should pick up the seat. It's a question, it's a debate, it's a bit like
Well, it means
Parliament.
it's also, it
They
takes
ask the
out that
question.
whole thing of a £50,000,
50,000
cost.
That's right.
which could have been, because it's now digitally calculated, could have been a click of a button. And it also means that, well, basically, you got how many councillors have you got up?
33 we've got.
No, in Shots. In
Shots, we now have 3 Labour councillors in Shots.
Right, so you've got three.
SNP are now third.
Right, but you've
In
got...
Lanarkshire,
But in
if we're
Forsyth,
looking
you've
at
got...
it for days.
Sorry, in Forsyth, you've got three
Three Labour councillors
in Forsyth.
in Forsyth, yeah.
But you only stood 2 at the election.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what I'm saying in terms of, because it's like
And-
not just your party, but any party, they play the game in terms of, if I put in 3 councillors, there's a chance that it'll
Yeah.
affect. But then when you have a by-election, all those people that voted for your first 2 councillors
Yeah,
get to vote again.
yes.
So, because you won 2 seats, it was pretty much a good chance that you were going to get that third one, because you had 2 people, all those
Well-
votes that vote for. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was SNP, it'd be the same argument.
Yeah, and it happened to me in Thorneywood in my first by-election I stood in. I lost it. It went to 6 counts.
Yeah.
It was just after Labour got wiped out, and I was, unfortunately, I felt that as well, and the community felt it. And we were with 3 councillors, because we had 2 Labour councillors at that time.
Yeah.
And the 2 Labour councillors ran it for 2 years, just ourselves.
Yeah. So, moving on, so we'll do some council stuff now. Right?
Okie dokie.
Right, so, before the council elections,
Yeah.
there was this rumour that the bin collections were going to get changed.
Yeah.
And Labour straight up, no, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And it did happen.
It did happen.
Yeah, listen, before I became a councillor, I wasn't that much interested in the bins. But since I became a councillor, we went and spoke to Waste Scotland management. I spoke to the waste management people, and we have to recycle properly. I'm hearing there's a lot of contaminated stuff getting wasted. People putting their food in the wrong bin contaminates that full bin load. And this is the problem we've got, Martin. And the good thing is, we're still going to have a bin collection every single week. The colour code's still going to be there. And all we're asking people is to look at how they recycle. The planet and the future of the country is about recycling. And we need to do recycling properly. I've walked down the back garden, I've got 4 bins here. By the time I've emptied my black bag into all the different bins, I've very little waste. You do spread it and it will work. And we'll get proof of it. Because East Ayrshire and Falkirk, both SNP councils, it's working in both their councils. It's working just down there. So North Lanarkshire shouldn't feel, yes, people are worried about change, understand that, but this is about recycling.
Yeah, so you've got a different take on it from Jim Logue, who blamed the Scottish Government, basically.
Oh yeah, and we will blame, look at the cuts, 27 million cuts we're getting from SNP.
But you would have known about the cuts before the election, that's what I'm saying.
The cuts have been going far too long. There's cuts every year. People can't, we've asked,
No, but what
we
I'm
asked to
saying-
improve the cuts.
What I'm saying is, if you knew the cuts were there before the election, said we're not going to do this,
Yeah.
oh, that's lies, and then you do it after, and then you say it's because of the cuts.
Well, obviously, I can't speak for Jim Lowe. Jim Lowe
Yeah.
told us it wasn't going to happen. It did happen, and it's happened for the right reasons. We can't wait. If once Jim runs a council, or once Labour runs a council, and somebody says, by the way, Jim, let's have a look at the bin issues, and Jim says, now's the time to do it, then that's fine. Before it, he was adamant it wasn't going to happen, and that's Jim. And that's, he was right to say that, because decisions get made with committees. Jim doesn't just make one decision. Committees make decisions, we discuss things, and that's how politics work.
Right, so recently there was a full council meeting about an internal audit report.
Right.
It was overshadowed with the whole get Jim Logue to stand aside.
Yeah.
Right, but that was also, there was another motion made that day, which was to have the internal audit report that it concerned
Yeah,
released to the public.
yeah.
Where do you stand on?
I'm always open for the public. The public always should get the information if they need it. Now, certain information can't be released for our security, you know, and certain information can. And by the way, while we're on the subject of Jim Logue getting accused of that, Jim Logue deserves an apology from the SNP party. And I hope that comes, Martin, because that man stood by, he took a lot for that, and there was personal attacks here, and it's not for me to speak for the council. I just say
Well, it is, because you're a councillor, so.
SNP should apologise to Jim Logue.
I didn't think it was right to put that motion forward against Jim Logue because it
There's other
overshadowed.
ways we can.
No, but it overshadowed the main motion for me, which was the freedom of information. That's the thing. Everyone was talking about the Jim Logue thing, the Jim Logue thing,
Yeah.
but the main thing to
Good,
me was.
good,
But wait a minute, I want to see the report. I want to see the report. I don't. And then I'll make my own mind up on whether I
The
think.
Freedom of Information Act has helped us all because there's more information coming forward. But I do know there's only certain information you'll get, and information does get held back for the security and the protection of people. People are just people. Councillors, MSPs and MPs, we're just human people. We're trying to do the best for everybody, no matter which colour you wear. We're all trying to do the best for everybody, and everybody deserves dignity, and there's that security or that information.
But another thing that got raised at that meeting was the SNP were claiming that their report was only about 4 pages long compared to the one that the Labour and the Tory party got, which was 16 pages long.
Oh, right.
So, do you have any knowledge?
I actually don't. To be honest with you, I don't, because I was that concerned being elected as a councillor. I don't know about the 16-page report or the 4-page report. What I can tell you, because I was at North.
Did you see the report though? Yeah.
I probably did see the report, Martin. Yes, I probably did see the report. Now, the reason that's always been, by the way, that's always been the case, and I can speak out on that because Labour's always done the report, and SNP's always been coming back with a lesser, either a document that size and a different sizes. There's no point doing that on radio. But what I'm saying to you is, SNP always give a good report, and there's always a follow-up. You know, it's like SNP put the report out. Sorry, Labour put the report out, and SNP sometimes followed. You know, so that's not.
No. So they're claiming that they didn't get given the same report.
Yeah.
They got a lesser report.
Oh, right. So there's a 16-page report. I don't know anything.
So that's what they were.
I need to go and ask that question. To be totally honest with you.
As far as I can understand, that was the reason for the freedom of information, because they haven't seen they haven't seen the full report.
Oh, they haven't seen the full report.
So, but they're saying that the Tory party has.
Sorry, Martin. I can't answer that one. And there's no point me sitting here saying yes.
So Shawhead.
Yes.
Shawhead and a fly.
Yeah.
Right. So, is that place shut down now?
Yes, the one in Shawhead is shut down now.
Right, because I was on the Facebook group. Catcher of the Flies is the Facebook group. And they were claiming that there's still a lot of flies coming from the centre, and then there's still activity going on there. So that's something to raise with you. One
of our local councillors, Gordon Sinnes, actually done a fantastic job there, you know. And I know it's been a problem, you know, it's in the summer, because Burgeddy gets it as well, over the other side. Kirkwood's getting it as well. You know, it seems to be a problem. The flies, it's like they come out in the summer, you know, and it's a summer issue, it's a hot issue, and I actually went and spoke to some of the residents. I went into one resident's house, and while I was sitting speaking to her, there's about 5 flies running about me, and that would really annoy me. I think the right decision.
Well, that would probably be one of the lesser ones, with just 5 flies. Cause I've
seen some of the photos, and I felt sorry for the people who's got to live with that. Nobody should have to live with that, and that's why I got involved. We got involved as a Labour Party, as a whole Labour Party. Councillors, MSP, and then
the SNP got involved as well. That was
and that's when we were working together as a community, you know. And that's what the community comes first, you know.
You're saying it's definitely, is it getting reopened or is it?
No, as far as I know just now, I need again. hasn't came to me. As far as I know, the company's closed down. Nobody's on the phone complaining too much about the flies just now. When the winter weather comes in, it disappears. It is an issue we need to look at. You know it's like in the summer. The flies appear, and everybody tries to buy salad, everybody goes for a drink, and we always run out of stuff. It's the opposite.
Yeah, it was a bit worse than
that. Oh, this is a weather climate thing. But because that place was too close, it was far too... Absolutely, my heart went out to the residents.
But yeah, no, it's just because there's reports of trucks going in and out at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
well, again, we'll have a look.
Which
at
is
that.
something that
And
because I mean, obviously SEPA's got a big hand in that as
I'm glad
well.
you raised it. We'll have a wee look at it.
Okay, so what's happening with View Park Glen then?
View Park Glen. I love the Glen. I went there as a child. You know, the Glen's part of View Park, and we will do everything we can. I'll do it because I'm born and bred in the Philthorne ward. I'm steeped in it. And the Glen is part of View Park's history. You know, it's a fantastic history. Unfortunately, the Scottish Government stepped in, and made the changes. The M8 links made changes. The industrial estate made changes. And there was parts cut off the Glen, sadly. But the Glen is still there. It's still nice. And I would recommend them to want to go a walk down it. Come down it.
But is it the council's initiative to protect that?
That's certainly her. Myself and Councillor Bob Burrows, along with Stephen Bonnet, along with the rest of the community, will be fighting to keep the Glen.
Yeah, because I know that there's a thing where it's been stopped at the moment, but then there's it's the Kenneth Forbes, the environmental assets, he put in a report.
Yeah, and that's been opposed.
Under section 26, it can be stopped under the Land
Reform
Act.
We'll a new path in, and we've stopped it. You know, and as far as I'm concerned, we'll continue to stop it.
Because there's been stuff built as well through Fusion Assets as well.
Fusion Assets as well.
Which is part of the council. That's arm's length.
Well, some ALEOs, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm up for fighting for the Glen, along with the local residents.
Okay, and DWP office, right?
Yes.
So, how many jobs are going to be lost?
240, I think it was, 250 jobs.
They're going to be lost.
They're going to be lost to our community. They're not lost. They're going to Motherwell, 2/3 to Motherwell and 1/3 to Glasgow. But it's 250 jobs out in my community. It really angers me. You know, this started in January, before I was elected. Now, had we been in January, I'd have been doing a lot more in January rather than waiting until the final cut came. And unfortunately as well, the DWP were not supposed to start making moves till the end of the year. Now, because we raised the campaign, they suddenly sent a torpedo mission in to move it. And we're still arguing over DWP. In fact, I raised it in Westminster during the week to stop the DWP closures. John Redwood was speaking as a minister, wanting more productivity and chase up the tax dodgers. So I intervened in that, and I says, well, you can do it just now by stopping the DWP closures, and I will still argue the DWP closures. They're still to bring the jobs back.
But how far will the unions take it? Strike action?
Strike action's possibility, but
because there is the argument that these people aren't losing their jobs.
That's right.
They're being moved. They're being moved from Coatbridge to Motherwell.
Yep, it's a centralisation programme. That's the Tories at their best. They want to centralise everything.
What I'm saying is, in terms of shutting it down and sacking everyone, horrific. That would be a horrific thing. Getting rid of a building and shifting people to Motherwell and Glasgow, considering how accessible Glasgow is by Coatbridge.
This is the whole thing, Martin, why we get upset. Our community will lose out £4,000 a week, they reckon, with 250 staff there. Now, they've got receipts to prove this. They've got receipts. Because not only are we just buying messages and sweets at dinner time and all the rest of it, we're booking holidays, we're using our local banks, we're using our local... No, people are using these centres. And Coatbridge Town Centre needs these jobs. We need these people. This is our community. Another way to look at it as well is a lot of the workers have got childcare. And childcare costs a lot of money. So, what I'm saying is, I wanted these jobs to stay.
Right, Hugh. Boy, I didn't knock your tooth out before the interview. Hugh's got to go. He's
I've
running
got to go
late.
to a dentist appointment.
So-
My tooth fell out this morning. I
Let's
do
see a
apologise for the
I'll have a couple of more questions. It was only about trying, so it's not that important.
Well, that's the torpedo was sent to
Thanks very much for coming in.
Martin, I wish you all the best for your North Lanarkshire Live.
We'll get
And,
you back on at some point if we get an
100%.
extended run.
Anytime you need me, just give me a wee shout and I'll come out. And thanks to the readers back home, the viewers back
Your
home.
assistant's going, get your backside out of the chair and go.
Okay,
get your
okay.
teeth sorted.
I'm going to go. And I like this red chair. Thank you very much.
No problem.